Hello again, and welcome to Speaking Business Central. Today we're going to be talking about Business Central Update 27.5. We're also going to talk about the upcoming major update 28.0, otherwise known as 2026 Release Wave 1, coming out in the next month. So, as usual, we're going to start off today. It's early April. So I know some environments have been already updated to 27.5. Hopefully yours has too. If not, it should be coming out soon, and you should go ahead and take those updates. So let's start off. If you're receiving notifications from the Business Central Admin Center, you should have received an email. Looks something like this: Business Central version 27.5 is now available. And there's a link here to read the overview of 27.5. I have that open here. So let's take a look at that. There is a list of hotfixes here. And there are quite a few, as there usually are. Many of them are very tedious or detail oriented, related to a very specific scenario. I do want to point out one of these changes that I noticed here, and that's this one here. You'll see it says item lookup page freezes during search after version 27.3. So in 27.3 and 27.4, there was an issue. And what would happen, let me show you. I'm currently running here 28.0, or the new 2026 Release Wave 1. And so what was happening before, I want to kind of demonstrate here for you, just so you can see here. If I go to sales order, and let me just open up any sales order, and let's go down to the line section here and pretend like I'm looking for a new item. So let's pick item here. Got my orders released. Let's reopen this. Okay, so if I go here, now what was happening before, if I was searching for an item and I clicked on select from full list here, if I did a search on any alpha character here, so black, for example, it was actually freezing the session right here, and you'd have to close the session or refresh and start over. So this has been resolved. And sometimes these notifications, when you go and look at the update list, they're a little bit tough to understand exactly what is it. They're kind of vague or general. This one's pretty clear. Item lookup page freezes during search. So that's definitely one of the updates that's important here. Now let me go back to 27.5. Let's go back to this page here. Okay. So that's in terms of hot fixes. There are two new feature changes that are included with 27.5. One has to do with electronic documents, and the other is kind of administration, if you're migrating to the cloud from a SQL database. I just want to point out here too, though, that these are both new features, but only in public preview. So what that means, again, is that public preview means these are features that are designed to be run in a sandbox environment. And you really are not, you don't want to be making extensions to these or changes to these or put them into production. They're meant for a preview only. 27.5, there are no localization updates. So that's about it for 27.5. Now let's couple other things here. 27.5, you'll see this is under the good to know section. It's kind of a part of it, but just something that you should be aware of. So I always check out this section here. There is a new stop all tasks action on the sales order agent task pane. So this has to do, there's a performance issue here, so you can kind of temporarily stop all the tasks. So this kind of is if you're using the sales order agent, just be aware this is in there too. So that's about it for 27.5. So let's talk a little bit about 28.0 or 2026 Release Wave 1. So the first thing is that the release notes are available. The primary page is here. It's called Update 28.0 for Business Central 2026 Release Wave 1. So on this page, you actually can download a full, very extensive PDF document if you want to save a copy of the release plan document, and it includes all of the Dynamics 365 products. But if you just scroll down the list here, you'll see all of the different new features that are expected to be included in 28.0. So you will see, and they're kind of by product area or category here. So there's several new features that are included related to Copilot and agents, or AI. There are several country or regional changes. There's several development or developer changes. Several e-commerce. Most of these are related to the Shopify integration. Electronic documents, financial management, governance and administration. So these are typically more like environment related, or you're not earthly environment, but your Business Central environment related. Productive with integration with Microsoft 365, reporting and data analysis, supply chain management, and then sustainability management. So there are quite a list of features here. What I would like to do here is point out some of my favorites on this list. So let's spend just a couple minutes here. And you please review this list, take a deep dive. Each one of these has a link where you can read more information about each one of these. The first one here, create agentic experiences with enhanced MCP server. So what this basically is the ability, so Microsoft has already provided the sales order agent and the payables agent as agentic experiences for you. And coming up with this new release is the ability to effectively build your own agents within Business Central to complete tasks and carry out actions within the Business Central environment. So this is pretty exciting, kind of a big leap going from, hey, let's see what Microsoft puts in here, related to AI features and agents, to hey, we can now do this ourselves. This is something that we can learn how to do and deploy our own tailored agents based on our own individual and specific workflows and processes within Business Central. So pretty exciting times. Again, coming up next release. From a features and functionality standpoint, I always like to dive into those details here. The first thing is here, there's one new feature here. It's just called financial reporting enhancements. But this is actually a whole series of changes related to financial reporting, or formerly account schedules. And what you'll see here is if you scroll down under feature details, the changes include the ability to add your company logo onto PDF outputs, the ability to override global defaults for your negative number formatting, reporting period, and logo placement. But way bigger than that is now the ability to schedule reports for a distribution group. You can also get the report in an email sent to users' report inbox. Dimensional reporting, so run a report multiple times for each value of a dimension. So if you've got, let's say, 20 departments set up within your organization, instead of having to print that report 20 times, you can now run it once and have it generated for each of those 20 departments. And then running multiple reports into a single PDF, right? Instead of getting 20 documents, 20 separate files, you can get those kind of into a single report document. And then some additional administration tools. So this is a whole series of improvements. I think as an accounting accountant by trade, I've always loved account schedules. I love the financial reports, the ability to change your column layouts and row layouts and drill down on data all the way to the source transactions. There's so much value within the financial reports. So if you're not using it, I strongly encourage you to use that some more. And then the last set of changes I want to point out here, and this is if you're doing distribution, you work with inventory items, and you create sales orders and purchase orders, and you often you will have product drop shipped from your vendor directly to your customer. There's an option here, a new feature called Create Purchase Orders from Drop Shipments. This is, my opinion, kind of a long overdue. I'm really excited about this. It really streamlines the process of generating the purchase orders and processing those orders after the fact. So there's been a new action that's been on the sales order page called Create Purchase Orders, but this was really only used to create purchase orders for items that would be received in inventory. They've now enhanced that create purchase orders function to also handle drop shipments. So from a sales order, you hit create purchase orders, out pops a little window. It confirms that you're going to create some drop shipment purchase orders and lines, and you can hit a button and it auto creates your purchase order right there from you. So no need to go through the requisition worksheet to get that done. So additionally, though, there are also two more related features. So for drop shipment processing. So there's that one, and then if you scroll down here, there's actually two more. So the first is post-purchase invoices for drop shipments independently of related sales invoices. So what they're doing is there used to be a control in place that said you can't invoice the purchase order until you've invoiced the sales order. So, and there always obviously were various cases where you may want to, it's a good control. I understand why. You don't want to be paying your vendor for products that you haven't invoiced to your customer. However, there are, scenarios where you do need to do that. So that's a nice feature addition. And then the last one here is reverse drop shipments when sales order and purchase documents aren't invoiced. So this is just for an error, right? Someone accidentally receives the wrong quantity from a drop shipment purchase order line. They post that receipt, right? That auto posts the shipment of the sales order. And previously, once you did that, you were kind of stuck. You can't undo it. They're linked documents. So they've added the ability to allow users to quickly reverse those maybe incorrectly posted receipts and shipments related to your drop shipment orders. So those are some real nice features. Again, if you're using inventory and doing just drop shipments, very helpful. A lot of my customers do that. So now, and then the last kind of feature I want to point out here is if you go to feature management. So what it used to say previously was that the pricing experience was going to be required, the new pricing experience, where you set up sales price lists and purchase price lists. That was supposed to be incorporated into version 28, where you had to do it. If I now go to Business Central, and let's open the feature management page here. So let's just go into feature management. And I find my new sales price experience. If I scroll over here, you'll see that this new feature, the new sales pricing experience, that again, this is what has price lists and purchase price, sales price lists and purchase price lists. It will automatically be enabled from version 31 now. So they've kind of kicked the can down the road. If you do not have this enabled, I would encourage you to go into your sandbox, enable it, and play around with this feature. It really makes managing your sales prices and your purchase prices significantly easier. You can create multiple different price lists. Price lists can be copied. They can be enabled, disabled, adjusted. So there's a lot that can be. A whole list can be blocked or put on hold temporarily or enabled for a future period. So there's a lot of nice stuff with that. So if you're not If you don't already have that enabled, I would encourage you to test it out, see how it works, and get that enabled sooner rather than later. Okay. And then kind of the last little thing I want to spend just a minute or two on here is preparing for a major update. When a minor update comes out, these monthly updates, most people, frankly, spend very little, if any, time preparing for the deployment of those updates into their production environment. But twice a year, a new release comes out, and there are some steps that I would recommend that you follow when you're releasing these. Now, what I would do is, if you haven't already found this page here, and you aren't familiar with the update cycles and how Microsoft manages updates, I would suggest you go to this page here, update cycles. There is a link on the Update 27.5 blog post on speakingbusinesscentral.com. If you aren't sure how to find this, you can use that link. What this does is this basically explains how Microsoft organizes and manages updates. Not going to go through all of this here, but there are 2 major updates a year, typically April and October. This is where most of the new features get deployed. But there are, what they call preview period, update period, grace period. There is an enforced update period eventually if you keep putting off your updates. There is a schedule where that will have to get done. And then also how to access release plans and other documentation. So this is a nice page. What I would suggest in terms of updates for your environment, if I go to the blog post here related to this video here, and if I scroll down here, I've included suggested steps to prepare for a major update. So real quickly, the first thing is start familiarizing yourself with the new features that are expected to come out in that next major release. And I did put that link to the Update 28.0 page here. Now, assuming that you're getting the notifications, you'll get a notification email from Business Central saying, hey, there's a new update coming out, or a new update to 28.0 has been scheduled for your environment. At that point, what I would do is 3 steps. First, create a new sandbox environment using a copy of your production environment. This will give you a nice sandbox environment with all of your current extensions in there, apps, and also your current data. And then schedule that sandbox to be updated as soon as possible. And at the same time, schedule your production environment to be scheduled far out into the future. A month, 2 months, doesn't matter. Kick it out as far as you can. Now, it'll be a while, it might be a while, but once you get a notification that your sandbox has been updated to that next major release, go into that sandbox and perform some testing. Make sure everything's working as you expect it to work. Maybe test out some of the new features and functionality included with that update, as I kind of have already done with the drop shipment purchase orders. Then, once you're comfortable with the update, everything seems to be looking good, reschedule your production environment back based on a date and time that best works for your organization. This could be a Saturday morning, Sunday morning between midnight and 6 a.m. But you want to make sure that's scheduled off hours. It just doesn't randomly happen on a Wednesday night when no one's ready for it. And then maybe someone comes in and they start to see things that are different. You also want to communicate these changes with your team. Okay, and then I did put some of these links here. Update cycles. Managing how to set up notifications if you don't have these email notifications set up for yourself yet, and then also some additional information on designing and coding agents using the new MCP server. Thank you. Appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to Speaking Business Central, please consider subscribing, and you will get updates in email whenever there's a new post released like this one or any other posts related to Business Central features and functionality. So there you go, 27.5. What's coming up in 28.0 or 2026 Release Wave 1, and how to prepare for your next major update. Thank you very much. It's been a blast.